Carney.
Right, thank you very much. So first of all, I want to thank you very sincerely for being a voice for children, for being an extraordinary voice for children all of the time. I had cause in recent weeks to defend your honour in the context of the AHR bill, but I noted that you're well able to speak up yourselves. And I suppose a context does need to be that, of course, you see the worst of everything, and there are lots of children who live very happy lives in our country, and we just need to note that, because when you read your report, it is a very bleak picture, I think, of situations. And what needs to be done, and certainly I take it with me into the writing of manifestos and into what can be what can be actually put into place. When you have so many complaints, I suppose, can you give us an idea of resolution? So of the 1,700, where do they all go? Because we see the case studies, we see the stories, but I suppose, maybe talk to me about those sort of frustrations.
Okay. First of all, yeah, I'm very happy to say that, I think Ireland is a really good place for many children to grow up in. And I think, I've often said it before, I think we do it right for probably 90% of our children. We have really good systems that work well, but it's those children that aren't quite in the normal boxes and have any sort of slight flexibility required, that there's problems. As regards the complaints we go, and I'll ask Nuala to join me in any stage, but I think essentially over the 1,790, or in general, our complaints come in, and we would tend to try and resolve probably 80% of them in the first 5 to 6 weeks. Usually fairly quick. Usually we can sort it out ourselves, or the first contact we make with the public service, whether it's a school or a hospital, they tend to say, okay, we have an issue, we'll sort that out as quickly as we can. And that's where we want to go. Every ombudsman's target is local resolution as quickly as possible. Then you'll have more difficult cases that we have to deal with, which might lead to a preliminary inquiry. And then the very serious cases and more complex altogether are investigations. And out of any our standard year, with probably 10 to 12 cases will go to investigation. So it's a really small percentage, because we want to resolve it as quickly as possible.
Yes.
And that's where we go to in that stage. Do you want to broaden on that?
No, that's exactly it. Obviously, we kind of live and die by the principle of the best interest of the child, and the best interest of the child is to get things fixed quickly. Yes. And so, in fairness to most of the adults that we reach out to, be them school principals, professional social workers, when we explain to them the impact on the child, what's going on in that child's life, the impact it's having on the family, a lot of the time they kind of sit up and go, okay, tell us what we need to do, we'll reach out to the family. Sometimes it's simply about communication and information sharing. So it's really important that we try to fix things first, because investigations are very intense. But when we go into investigations, the one thing I think this is a key theme that Niall has reiterated is for the system to learn. We can't keep coming back and bringing up the same case again and again. So when we do investigations, our recommendations are systemic in nature, and it's supposed to help all children that may be affected by that issue. So that's why we find them incredibly important. And generally, we find that services take our recommendations seriously most of the time.
So I suppose if you have a complaint and you're dealing with it through a CHO or something like that, are they so siloed, and we're looking at systemic learning, then are you reliant on a venue like this, or the publication of a report? How do you influence that? How do you go there?
So we do meet at a very senior level with the CHO, for example, the CEOs of HSE, of our TUSLA, Chief Operation Officers. So if there are systemic issues that we've already investigated and new cases are coming into us, we will put it at their door and say, we've already investigated this, you need to fix this for these children. At local level, we do, obviously with my team, we can deal with people right at the ground, the decision makers, they're the most important people, but we will go up the line until we get it resolved. And if that means goes to the very top, we will go to the very top. So that's how we use our authority with great care and with great respect to the people on the ground, but our role is to advocate for children when something has gone wrong for them by services, and we will use that to the absolute to the most senior level that's appropriate to get things fixed.
Very good.
Just to add to that, we invested a lot of time in trying to help organisations and agencies to do complaints better. So we have a complaint handling magazine leaflet, which we would engage with, and we brought it to teacher conferences. We bring it to other places, and we've engaged with the HSE and TUSLA around it, so that we can help make it as easy as possible for them to handle the complaint on the ground, so they don't have to come to us. So we're trying to prevent all the time as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you, Chair.